Hi everyone, back than a snap Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Mach-Hommy project, Pray for Haiti. This is the latest full-length LP from prolific Haitian-American rapper Mach-Hommy. Hailing from New Jersey, this guy packed the 2010s with project after project after project like his life depended on it. Much of that music was dropped independently, some of it with the very in-demand GRISELDA Records, who Mach is crossing over with once again for this new project that's executive produced by West Side Gun. Which I'm hoping means this is going to be a blowout where nothing's held back, because up until this point, I'll be honest, I have been a little confused about Mach-Hommy's hype. Maybe I wasn't listening to the right albums or features or tracks, but he does tend to portray himself in an elusive way, and sometimes his recordings are so lo-fi it's to the detriment of his songs. So I'm not going to come into this review pretending I'm like a Mach-Hommy stan or a Mach-Hommy expert. I'm more Mach-Hommy curious than anything. And I think Pray for Haiti is a great project for anyone who might feel the same, because here Mach gives us an incredibly clear picture of his vocal abilities and most intimate thoughts. But in regards to his rap style, I see Mach as a synthesis of several different things. On these tracks, you can hear the wit of MF Doom, the swagger of Jay-Z, a smooth delivery and vocal timbre that reminds me of Mos Def in some pockets. Plus, I can also see why he has so much crossover appeal with guys like Earl Sweatshirt and Quelle Chris. And of course, on this project, you also get the grittiness that you expect with anything associated with GRISELDA Records too. Now on the opening track here, Mach gives us a pretty clear picture of his lyrical abilities, very strong rhyme schemes with one-liner highlights like had to dumb it down like my slow 50 Cent flow. Also the smoky and enchanting jazz loops and horn chops that make up this beat are one of many great production choices on this thing. So yes, Pray for Haiti does get off to a strong start with this track, but the first leg of this LP does come off a little spotty. No blood, no sweat, like all of the shorter tracks on this thing, comes off a little too breezy and low impact. For sure, it's listenable, but it's also a reminder that just casually spinning over trippy lo-fi hip-hop beats doesn't automatically result in mad villainy levels of magic. On the back end of Folie à Deux, Mach hits the mic with this semi-manic ODB type energy, which is kind of bold and in your face, but not nearly as impressive as some of his more lyrically methodical moments here. I kind of feel similarly about the track Murder Season 2. Thankfully, the heat turns up around the midpoint of this LP. There's the passionate and thoughtful Stellar Ray theory. There is so much to praise about this track, whether it be the relentless flows or introspective, aspirational lyrics, the beautiful, warped, wavy textures throughout the beat, a touching chord progression, a strong, sticky hook too. The highlights continue onto the track Marie, where Mach is giving poetic praise to women and female figures in his life, rapping about needing some woman energy, that feminine divine, which is set to some seamless and gorgeous horn loops and a chunky boom bap beat. Meanwhile, the track Criminel has a strong starting verse and a sung chorus from Mach that buried itself into my head instantly. This track also serves as another creative moment on the LP where Mach uses his Haitian heritage and multilingual pedigree to separate himself from the pack. Now, Pray for Haiti's second half is where much of the features here come in, and unfortunately they're not as varied as they could have been. Like, I enjoy West Side Gun features generally pretty well, and I know him and Mach-Hommy are like this, but this many placements, even for an executive producer, seems excessive. If I had to pick one out though, it would be the track RAMI. There, Mach and West Side seem like they're on a similar wavelength in terms of energy level, and the way they trade off back and forth on that track, it has a nice cipher-like chemistry to it. Plus the dissonant piano changes that are laced into the beat on that one give the instrumental a wacky flair. MAGNUM Band with the God Fahim is certainly a highlight here, and even though the God does a great job on the track, the song is fantastic before he even steps to the mic, because Mach is on another planet with some of these one-liners. Ever since I cut the locks off, you got me twisted, and also, I put that biscuit to your teeth like it's England? Like it's England? The smoky and surreal Au Revoir see some good vocal interplay and chemistry between Mach and his guest vocalist, Melanie Charles, plus another strong, introspective, but also celebratory verse on the back end where he raps about being able to maintain his sound, be true to himself, be on his own path, see success doing that without necessarily like selling out. Then the closing track, 10 Boxes Sin Eater, is a chunky finish for the record. Lots of clanging, banging metallic tones laced throughout the beat here. It's not exactly fireworks or anything, but it's as explosive a finish we're gonna get on a record that up till this point has been so laid back, low key, kind of casual. But even with things seeming so nonchalant, my God, there are some great flows, great beats, fantastic, thoughtful lyricism. But in its worst moments, Pray for Haiti can certainly come across as being a little half-baked, underwhelming, even to a degree unfocused, which I know can be a common flaw with a lot of these very raw Griselda projects. But Mach does legitimately display the talent to push his music further throughout this LP if he ever wanted to do so in the future. Feeling a light 7 on this one, Tran. Zishin, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Mach-Hommy, forever.